It is time to clean up my to-do list. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. Today I want to talk to you guys and kind of just invite you in on this process as I learn about a couple of different video filming techniques. Now I don't know if you're the same way, but I can get pretty stressed out when my to-do list gets so long that it becomes overwhelming. And when it comes to crochet, I do kind of have ideas of what I want to work on next. I have my works in progress that I want to finish. But then I use the website Ravelry as a place to kind of keep my ideas in line. I don't really use Pinterest. I do kind of save some YouTube videos on occasion, but in general, Ravelry is where I keep track of the patterns that I really like and the ones that I want to come back and do. And so one of the things that I thought would be interesting would be to take a look at what is in my Ravelry queue, my things that are essentially the to-do list, and then compare those to what I actually want to get done as I'm thinking about the holidays coming up. It is, I think, November 3rd as I'm recording. And I also wanted to just, as a learning thing for me, see if I could do a screen recording and a voiceover and see if I could make that work. So here's what I did. I got onto Ravelry and I just went ahead. Let's see if I can do this. So let's just get into it. I did a screen recording and I always like to start on patterns, and it kind of shows some suggestions of things that I might like, has some ads on there, but I just wanted to go and look at the things that I already had in my queue, and then I wanted to compare that to my favorites and kind of think through what I already had in place or what is already in my mind. So here I am. I'm going to go first to my queue and kind of show you guys what I already had in place. I had a bunch of these kind of smaller makes, these little bag charms, maybe some ideas for Christmas gifts. I have a couple of shawls or scarves, even some color work cowls going in there, some things that I needed to do for warmer weather. There's that little baby sweater that I just finished, and then a couple of Christmas ornaments. And so the first thing that I wanted to do was kind of decide, do I need to keep these things in my queue? And I just started deleting a few of them. Probably not, well, maybe I'll do the lemon after all. Definitely not gonna do those little Christmas sweaters after all. Probably not gonna do this Moroccan midnight cowl. I've done a couple of colorwork projects pretty quickly or pretty recently. Maybe I do actually need an ear warmer. I've realized that a lot of times my hair is really fluffy, so I need something like that my hair doesn't all go under the hat. But yeah, I already have that baby sweater in a project. I can come back to that shawl anytime I want. I already have another couple of shawls in there. So yeah, that baby stripes cotton sweater that's already in my projects page. I do need to update that. But now let's look at my favorites, and these are organized by most recent things. Now, the Hawthorne hoodie, that is a pattern that I'm interested in, but it's not one that I'm going to do verbatim, but I just wanted a hoodie pattern to get me started. I was thinking recently that I want to make a really cozy hoodie, but let's see what else is here in my favorites. That little Christmas mouse, that's super cute. I think it would be really adorable. I might want to make that, but it is kind of at the top. There's some Animal Crossing. You can see some of my research for this baby cardigan that I had. Some more colorwork pieces, some more cowls, and of course, shawls. Who doesn't have a favorites list full of shawls? There's Cleo and Poirot, the cat from Miss Robin. That was so much fun to do that pattern test. And yeah, some of these things you can see that I've made more recently. Ooh, there's the ferret by Complicated Knots. I love her patterns. There's several that I want to do. There's that ferret, and I think the raccoon would be super cute. I think these are all no-sew patterns, and I'm hopeful that she's going to come out with more in the Christmas season. She usually does 12 days of Christmas, and she recently did a really cool video about upsizing and small sizing, miniaturizing her patterns. But let's see here. There's one more. Oh, yes. The screaming possum. That is one I definitely need to do. Not for me. There is someone in my life who loves possums. And so that one I probably do need to prioritize. I think birthday in January. So that needs to be on there. Let's see what else I have. tons of shawls, of course, little cardigans. There's a scarf that I already have on my queue that I'm going to keep on there. And yeah, on and on and on it goes. So many different shawls. Oh, there's Cassandra's Binky Bunny. I made that and loved it, gave it away. There's that raccoon again. Let's see here. So many different shawls, y'all. I love how many people find me through shawls, but this is it. Oh, here's a thought. Okay, so Ella over at No Catchy Names, she was doing a crochet along that was all about names. And the first part was doing your name, and the second part was doing one of your parents' names. Well, my name is Mary, and my father's name is Joseph. So maybe that's something that I could do. If I wanted to participate in that what's in a name crochet along, I could do Mary and Joseph and then baby Jesus. Oh, there's another friend in there. Oh my goodness. Snailworks Crochet. Ooh, okay, so holly leaf, that could be a pretty easy little Christmas ornament. Because here's the thing, I have some Christmas parties coming up, some like ornament swaps that are ongoing, and I need to make some ahead for these ornament swaps. Now this little wizard pattern, I thought that was super cute. That would be really easy to like turn into a gnome as well. All those little crochet farm patterns. And things that I pulled from in the past, just some various adorable little ideas. Y'all, there's so much more amigurumi than I ever really do. Okay, so mitts or leg warmers or arm warmers. This is a very practical thing for me. I don't have a lot of long sleeve t-shirts or like foundation garments. And so what ends up happening is I'll do like arm warmers or leg warmers to keep myself extra warm, but I don't have very many of them. So I do want to emphasize making more of those. And I think as I go through this, I think I'm going to get into some more of those. So many good shawls. So, okay, here we go. Here's some leg warmers. Those are a little bit slouchy for my taste. I want them to be really fitted. There's another super cute little cowl. That one's really adorable. I've done something similar to that. I think Crystal over at Bag O' Day, I think her like olive branch cardigan, something like that. Not cardigan, shawl. I've done something similar like that to something that Crystal did. It's a really beautiful stitch. Let's see, what else do we have on here? We're starting to get a little bit older. Okay, mystical mitts. Those look pretty cute. Now, I will say that a lot of the patterns that I save are free patterns. Some of them are paid for. Closer inspection, I'm not quite sure that I like the stitch pattern on these mitts. They're cute, but also with that thumb hole, they're not quite as versatile. You're also seeing some other little favorites. There's the Miffy from the Miffy Bunny Crochet Along, the Not Cow with Cassandra. Okay, and now we see this has potential. Like I like the fit of these leg warmers, and they could double as arm warmers as well. I think those would be worth putting in the queue. That's something that I do want to do. The question, of course, is do I have the yarn for it? But I can think about that later. For now, I'm going to look at my queue and see, is this really what I want? Okay, maybe don't need the lemon. The lilies of the valleys are still pretty cute. I do want to make that shawl. Head warmer, I need to see if I have that in my stash. That beautiful rose, I have a project in mind. Okay, maybe I'm not going to do the raccoon quite yet. Yeah, and the more I think about it, the more I think maybe those wrist warmers aren't going to be as versatile as some leg warmers. So let's go with that. Something else that I love to do on Ravelry is I will go in and I will star things. I won't necessarily favorite it, but I'll just want to remember it for later. So I'll just go into advanced search and that will pop up where my starred pieces are. Now some of these are ones that I've done. Some of them are just inspiration. But yeah, there's another pair of arm warmers that are super cute. Now I don't know that I want to do these exactly, but I just saw that Play Hooky With Me has a beautiful new stitch pattern. So maybe I'll put those in the queue and use that as a placeholder, and that will remind me to go back and look at her video tutorial and see how that goes. Okay, so I think maybe that does it for my queue. I think at this point, I might just be looking around and trying to figure out how to turn off my screen recording. Y'all just keeping it real, here I am. But yeah, I think I'm okay with where I'm at now. I think that has helped me get an idea of where I want to go. And so now the question is, what order do I want to do these projects and what are the highest priorities? Like I said, I do have some works in progress. You can see that I also needed to update some of my projects just to have the pictures in there, just because I do like Ravelry. I do like being able to look and see how other people have interpreted different patterns, how patterns have worked up in different yarns, things like that. And again, when I put something in my queue, it doesn't mean I'm going to do it exactly, but it might remind me like, oh, I want to try this idea, except make up my own pattern and maybe do it in like a lighter weight yarn or different colors or different style of yarn. So there are a few of those in there. But I think going forward, I think number one, I want to start a shawl. I definitely want to start a shawl. There's a beautiful shawl. There's a beautiful scarf pattern in there. And I already have an idea of the yarns that I want to use for those. The other thing that I really need to look through my stash for is leg warmers. That is something, leg warmers and arm warmers. Maybe if I did that one kind of wave pattern leg warmer and the play hooky with me pattern for arm warmers, that might really get me through. That could be a good thing because that would be a practical thing for this season because again, like it's cold and I don't really want to always wear my kind of puffy practical coat. That's great, but if I can wear layers of crochet, if I can wear wool or alpaca or something like that, that's so much better on my skin. I love the feel of that so much more. So maybe that's something I need to emphasize. And then, of course, there is the practical stuff of making sure that I'm equipped for Christmas. I do have some Christmas parties right at the beginning of December. So if maybe interspersed with these kind of larger projects, the shawl, the arm warmers, the leg warmers, maybe if I dribble in some of those beautiful little Christmas gifts, those little ornaments, even the little lilies of the valley, those would be a really beautiful little Christmas ornament, I think, as well as the wizard that maybe could be like a Santa or a gnome, and then maybe the pagan blanket. I'm not sure if I'm still going to do that or not because I could kind of cobble together a pattern for that. I know for a time that particular pattern was offline and then they brought it back again. It was so popular because people were just doing what I'm doing, looking at it and figuring out how to make it for themselves because it is such a clever idea. Super, super cute. But I do want to make one of the little Crochet Farm Grinches for sure. That's a number one. I do want to make that. But it's November. Okay, so what are the things that I need to do in what order? That I guess I'll just kind of wait and see and go with what feels good. For now, as of today, I'm super close to finishing 2 works in progress. So I'll work on those and then I'll go to my queue and I'll decide what I'm going to do next. So thank you guys so much for spending time with me today as I go through my Ravelry queue, my little to-do list. I do feel a lot better now that I've kind of cleaned it up. And also just on the practical note of this video, it was really interesting like doing the screen recording and then coming back and recording my voiceover with it and kind of describing that process. There is something so powerful about stopping and thinking about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so being able to put that thought process into words and communicate it to someone else, I think that just adds to the power of it, right? It makes the learning more real and it does kind of help my resolve. Like one of the things that's really important to me in crochet is making sure that it's a quality of life thing. So when the to-do list gets really cluttered and unstructured and I don't really have a focus to it, then doing something like this where I'm literally making a video about cleaning up my Ravelry to-do list, my crochet to-do list, it really does kind of lift off some of that weight and some of that burden. Let me know if you're the same way. Let me know if you are more of a Pinterest person or a Ravelry person or even other websites that have a whole list of different patterns. Again, budgetary reasons, I tend towards the free ones, but I know a lot of people will have like their Etsy wish list with all kinds of patterns in there, and then they'll get notified when they go on sale. That's always a wonderful thing. But yeah, how do you keep organized in terms of what you're crocheting? And is it something where you ever feel overwhelmed by having that to-crochet list that just goes on and on and on? Yeah, I would love to hear about your experiences, see if we're at all the same, because that is the joy of this channel, is getting to connect with other crochet type yarny minded people. So yeah, for everyone who has hung out with me, all of the subscribers and commenters, the people who like the video, all of y'all who are super encouraging on this YouTube adventure, I really do appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much for all the ways that you've supported me. And if for whatever reason I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I really do appreciate you. I'm trying really hard not to like do the same kind of canned cadences when I say these tried and true lines. Anyway, I do appreciate you. I hope I will see you again soon. Bye.